Dun 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 dun. Kilted balls.
Oh, yeah.
I do like your new shirt.
Thank you. Gina got it for me.
Well, that is wonderful. And by the way, I've got to tell people this because I think people don't understand this about me. But you obviously do. So Kilted made me wait. Well, first off, welcome back to the Kilted Balls podcast. We're glad to see all of you. Kilted made me wait to see his shirt until we started because he wanted my true reaction. And when he saw my true reaction, you could hear him laughing at me, which is good. But here's the thing that I find amusing because I get this from a lot of people, including some of our listeners. They'll do something or ask something, and they'll be like, "You didn't react." I'm like, no, that was a huge reaction. I'm like, you just don't understand how I react to things.
Yeah, like how my reactions are.
So I appreciate the fact that you started laughing so much at me because I'm like, oh, see, he gets me. Like that was a huge reaction for me.
Yes. Yeah, she saw it and wanted to get it for me. It came in. Then she was like, are you going to look like a creeper if you wear this? So I think it's fun. I don't think so. But I was like, you know what? I'll wear it Tuesday, and we can have our listeners let us know what they think of it. I think it's a very fun shirt. I don't think I'd wear it to like parent teacher conferences.
I mean, it's just toes with nail polish, right?
Yes.
Those all look like toes to me, or there's a couple thumbs. I see a couple thumbs up, or most of those are thumbs down.
They're all boobies if you didn't look carefully.
Are you sure? Because some of those look like toes to me. Some look like toes.
Nope. So
here's a totally different side note with your shirt. I cannot look you in the eyes right now. Like I can't. Like I'm either looking at the camera or I'm looking at your boobs. I can't.
My eyes are up here.
Are your eyes up there? Like I can't. Like it takes effort to raise my eyes to that level. So what I think this is telling me is that subconsciously or consciously I'm a boob man, right? Like that must be the case.
Yeah.
So
it can be the case.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, lots of fun. I thought it was fun.
I think it's fun. I think it's great.
Yeah.
That is so nice that she got you a gift. And have you decided who matches each one yet?
No, although Morgie did say, because he is the master, he's 5.
Mm-hmm.
He did say, it looks like these, but it's not that, they're not that color. That's what
he said it looks like these, but not that color. And he would know because he's still breastfeeding, right?
No, he is not. He did stop.
I don't believe you.
Yep. All the Bobby milk was sent back to the Bobby Moon, and he was very upset for. Well, he's still upset, but yes.
I mean, I'm still upset too. So.
Aren't we all? Yeah, it was tough.
Yeah.
But, it's great. It's great when mothers can actually do that. There's a lot of studies out there that talk about how breastfeeding is so much better on the intellect and everything for kids and things like that, and the closeness too.
Yeah. So why'd she stop?
Because he was 4. Wait, what's that movie? He was 48 months.
He was 48 months. He was like fine. So now that he spoke, are hers like the one on your right shoulder or your right armpit that are yellow? Like if you take your finger to your right arm shoulder, up higher, higher, way higher. Yep, right there.
It's a pattern. There's only so many. It's like a pattern. They repeat themselves.
But the one you pointed at way up high, that set. Yeah, nope, higher, right there. Wait, nope, over. Nope. Over the other. Yeah, right there. Nope. No, the yellow ones. I'm pointing at it on my screen now. Yeah, that
those
ones.
ones?
Yeah, those ones.
I cannot say.
Like, you could jump rope with those, I think.
It happens. I mean, nature's a wonderful thing.
I do not
I
think
think
those
all.
are boobs. I don't think those are boobs.
So, I
That's
like
someone's
if you think
broken
about
finger.
like our what there's a comedian Rodney Carrington.
Yes.
He what is he talking about? He said he's like a woman in a shoe store. Bring every pair out. I want to see all of them.
That's totally sexist. Totally sexist. It's more like a man in a boob store.
Yep. Yep. But yeah, I thought it was a fun and funny shirt.
No, I like it. I like it. I'm glad I got to see it and experience it. Might have to get myself one. I imagine they make them.
Yep. Yep. Timu is.
I
If you do
think
research, you can find good stuff.
I think we should make one.
Hmm.
We probably should not let our significant others know, but we should make one and model it after everyone we've ever seen. So each set is a set we've seen. That'd be funny.
It'd be difficult to draw.
I was told once that my wife said I couldn't pick her nipples out of a lineup, and I'm like, I think I could. And she's like, I don't think so. I'm like, let's make a lineup and see.
Yep. That's the only way to
I'm
tell.
like, let's find out if I can. I go get like 5 or 6 of your friends. And if you don't think that's statistically enough, get like 10. But none of your friends can be my sisters. That'd be weird. So.
Oh yeah. So anything exciting happened this last week for you?
I finished my taxes.
Me too.
So yay. Yeah, and I had to do the books first, which is not normally my gig. But I did the books on QuickBooks. It was super annoying. So for all my rentals, and then I was able to get my taxes entered, and it was really funny because I was like screwing things up, and it like the TurboTax used to tell me my amount up in the top left, and it wouldn't do that this time. And so I'm putting in the sale of one of my properties, and I'm like, ooh, do I do an installment sale and spread it out or all at once? I'm like, I had all those crypto losses. I bet I can do it all at once. But I'm like, I can't tell. So I like went to the end, and it was like, yeah, you owe like, I forget what it was, like $30,000. I was like, nope, go back. Let's change that to an installment sale. And then it was like, oh, you get $33. Or actually, it was like, you owe $2,400. And I'm like, okay, that's better. And then after we got all done, it was like, we got a refund of like $30. And I was like, yes, I didn't loan the government money. They didn't loan me money. Life is good. Life is good.
Yeah, works out just right.
Oh, so I heard a teacher today, and I think you're going to find this amusing. Some of our listeners are going to be offended, and sorry, listeners who are offended. But
the ones who stuck around after the shirt.
Yeah, after the shirt. Some of them left at the shirt, right? Some of those seriously look like thumbs or toes, by the way. I've seen thumbs and toes drawn that way. But they were laughing about how they can't use transcripts of Trump's speech, of his speeches, like at his rallies, like in class.
Oh yeah.
Because have you ever read any of his like transcripts?
No, I haven't.
You should read them sometime.
I've heard some. There's lots of potty language.
No. You just got to read the transcript, because if you read the transcript, which is like dictated word for word,
okay,
right? And you read it, and he's like, I can't like do this. Like a lot of times, teachers will like show them a transcript and have them like decode it and do a whole bunch of stuff, right? Because it makes it more real. And they were lamenting the fact that they can't use any of Trump's because they look like they are like Trump haters if they do it, and it starts like a whole battle if they use it, because the transcripts are so fucking crazy. Like, they're so bad, and I've read a few of them to see how bad they are. They are so bad.
So our friend brought this up. Did he really say that if he loses the election when he was in Detroit, giving a speech that the whole United States would be just like Detroit. Is
Yeah,
that a
yeah.
fact check?
I mean, I did not fact check it, but I heard it from obviously
I heard
Detroit's
from a
near and
reliable
dear,
source. Yeah.
near and dear to our hearts, and they were like, I can't believe he just said that about, like, you're talking in Detroit. And for listeners who don't know, Detroit has like a lot of pride in Detroit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes other people don't have a lot of pride in Detroit, but Detroit always has pride in Detroit. And then,
Mm-hmm.
depending on how the Lions or Tigers or Wings or Pistons are doing, everybody else has different amounts of pride in Detroit.
Yeah.
So right now the Lions are doing good, the Tigers were doing good. There's a lot of pride in Detroit. Probably not a good place to come in and rip on it. Like, Detroit literally has shirts, and I know other people have taken this, but for the longest time where it's like Detroit against the world, you know, and
Yeah.
like they have a chip on their shoulder where they feel like everybody's looking down on them, and you know, they need to like conquer that. And
Yeah.
yeah, and then he goes and says, yeah, the whole rest of the place is going to be like Detroit. And I'm like,
It seems difficult.
like, you probably shouldn't say that to Detroit people, right? Say it somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
But
I mean, if he was in Cleveland, that's different.
well, and I was laughing today because I had a buddy and I missed this, but some friends were talking. Like, I came into a room and some people were talking, and apparently it was about politics, right? And they were laughing when I walked in because during my campaign, someone had said they had heard that people were like, yeah, he's not going to win because he's too big of a MAGA.
About you?
About me.
Wow.
That I was too MAGA, and we were like laughing because listeners, one of the things we've talked about before is, or maybe we haven't, maybe you don't know this about me. I have hated Trump since the 90s. So where Kilted and I grew up, people who had money were looked down upon. And if you were a community with lots of money, you were looked down upon. Like, we were tough-nosed, rural, farmer, industrial, working-class people, and we just automatically judged people with money as like snobby, snooty people. And Trump was like the epitome of that in the 90s, right? Mm-hmm. And so, like, you know, I didn't like him, right? Like, for no other reason than we were farm boys and he was a rich, uppity chump, right? And so anyway, yeah. So for someone to be like, oh yeah, he's huge MAGA is like weird because I'm like anti-MAGA. So, but the part that was interesting is I walked in and then like people were talking about different things with immigration, all sorts of stuff. And I'm kind of like listening and chiming in. And then I'm like, what started all this? And they were like talking about voting. And this one person, they were like, oh, like, who are you going to vote for? And they were like, and he said he doesn't know yet. And I was like, oh, that's sad. And they're like, what do you mean? I go, was he talking about the presidential race? And they're like, yeah. And I go, well, it means he doesn't want to admit that he's voting for Trump. Mm-hmm. I go, he's embarrassed that he's voting for Trump, and he doesn't want to say that, so he says, I haven't decided. Because there's no way you can't have decided.
Anyone who is going to... We've talked about this on my other channel. Like, anyone who is going to vote has already decided.
For those...
Right. If someone's not going to say it, they're embarrassed to say it to whoever they're talking to.
Right, they're embarrassed. And I'm like, so they're in a room of well-educated people, and there's been no doubt, and it's been shown by the elections, by the polls, all of the stuff. The less educated you are, the more likely you're voting for Trump, right? And so if you're in a room of highly educated people, the odds of them voting for Trump are statistically smaller. That doesn't mean it's zero. It's just less of a chance. Yeah. So with that guy talking into a room of fully educated people, he made the right call, right? Like they would have all like laughed at him or ripped on him. And so he didn't say that, which is probably okay. But I'm always like, own your shit. Like,
yeah.
If that's who you support, own that. Say he's your ideal and like run with that.
So. Like I heard from someone I knew. They said he's their guy. And I was slightly surprised, but that's fine.
Like, own it.
Yep.
Own it, right? And like, I'm okay. I own what I'm doing. Like, people will say, well, how can you support her? How can you support that other guy? I'm like, really? You're asking like a person who is totally 100% vested in teachers and the educational system, why he would support a teacher and coach?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not
All
sure.
I said is, don't you care that your kids aren't going to have any choice, like any reproductive choices? That's the only thing I said to that person.
Yeah.
I was like, you don't care about your daughters not having any options?
Well, they don't have daughters,
yeah.
so it's easy to do. It's easy to do when you don't, right? Like, if you have them, then you are like, oh yeah, maybe you don't want them to have that choice. There's some parents who don't, right?
Yes, that's
They're
true.
like, no, it's the way I want it to be. Is I don't want them. I want them to have to do what I say. I'm the head of the household. Because Jesus says so.
That happens a lot. I think that it's funny because after, and it may be because you've seen some other videos, but I don't get on TikTok much. I post on the Kilted Balls TikTok. So if I'm on there, it's like stuff is uploading. But a lot of the videos I've seen are like people our age or younger, like in our generation, who were raised religious right, I'll say, and who are just like their eyes are opening up to like some of the things that were said and how they were like brought up and some of the things. And not, we talk about your religion a lot. I'm not talking about that. There's definitely, I would say there's a difference between Catholics and the far religious right, where as far as Christians are concerned, there's definitely a range there.
There is a huge range, right?
So, and I can see that. I can see that, especially as an adult, looking back at my mom, who was raised. My grandfather was an Assembly of God preacher, and they're all the way over there. Like dinosaurs weren't real, and they were just put in the ground, and stuff like that, and everyone has their beliefs, and that's fine. I'm not here to judge people's beliefs, but I can see the ways that she acted being brought up in that, like just kind of rebelling against it once you get out into the real world, if your belief changes at all.
Yeah. And not you, Seventh-day Adventists, Mormons. We judge both of you. So y'all be fucking crazy.
You do?
Yeah. They need to be judged hard, right?
I don't know. I disagree.
No, for sure.
You mean, have you ever seen the Book of Mormon?
No, but I watched South Park do their take on the Book of Mormon.
You've seen that. So it's funny. We've talked. Maybe I was talking with Gina about Mormonism, and she's like, I don't really know much about Mormons. And I'm like, actually, like the South Park guys, they have it like what they describe is like a lot of the stuff. Because when I used to do shows, especially out in Utah, there's a lot, of course, even a lot of Mormons in the business and people that you talk to, and even who's the other guy? L. Ron Hubbard. A lot of them.
Oh yeah, Scientology.
Is that Scientology? Okay. So yeah, like you're just talking to a lot of different people and getting to know a lot of different people. But Matt and Trey, they have it now. Like really, like it's kind of picking, but that's like if you read their beliefs, like that's what it does. And then you get your own planet, and when you die, and your family's there and everything. So it's
good times.
Different.
Good times. Yeah, I remember I have a really good friend. I don't know if he listens to the show or not, but I remember when I was like first being friends with him, we like went to the movies and we're like hanging out, and all these people came running up and they're like, "Hey!" And he's like, "Oh, these are all friends of my church." I'm like, "Oh, awesome." I'm like, "Yeah." I go, I go to church all the time. He's like, "Oh, you are?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I go, I'm Catholic, but I embrace like pretty much all religions. I go, except, for like just a couple exceptions. I'm like, just a couple. And he's like, "Oh, really?" And I'm like, "Well," I go, like the lowest rung for my religions, I go, is, Seventh-day Adventists. And he's like, "Really?" And I'm like, yeah, for sure. And he goes, "I'm Seventh-day Adventist." I'm like, "Perfect." I go, "That works out well." And he's like, "Wait, why would you be against Seventh-day Adventists?" I go, "I'm not against." I said, "I don't respect their beliefs. They're the lowest level religion, in my opinion." And he's like, "How could you say that?" I'm like, "Because you're the only religion that I know of that is wrong." And he's like, "How can you say that?" I go, It's your religion. I go, how many times have you guys been wrong?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, oh, he goes, we don't like to talk about that. And I'm like, oh, you don't? I go, let's count all the times you said the world was going to end. That is the main tenet of your faith, Seventh-day Adventists, because you know when it's going to end. Yeah. How many times have you predicted it ending? And he's like, yeah, we don't like talking about it. I go, right. So that's why you're the lowest one. You've been actually proven wrong. And they're like, wait, how do you put us below Mormons and Scientology? And I was like, oh, I don't. He goes, you just said we're the lowest religion. And I'm like, I stand by that. And he goes, wait, are you saying those others aren't religions? I'm like, they are clearly not religions. They are jokes. They don't even make the threshold of being a religion. I go, they're just jokes. Speaking of religion, people, a biblical journal. A biblical journal for you. Awesome. Get it on Amazon. I put this here so you could write people's names for your journal so you know it's your journal. Oh,
that's pretty awesome.
Right? So get it. It's full of biblical quotes that Kilted and I thought like represented our thoughts and feelings. So yeah, it's out there. It's on Amazon. Get it. It's a good time.
I think that's super awesome.
Yeah, I like it. Which, oh my gosh, I forgot. I did have something to talk about. I almost tweeted this today, people. Almost tweeted it. Listeners, you have to hold Kilted accountable. Our next journal requires him to do work. And that boy ain't done shit. He ain't done shit. So, get on him.
Wait.
If you guys could comment to him every day.
I put 2 quotes in. I put 2 quotes.
How
many quotes do we have?
I need you to put in 100. I need you to put in 100.
I did make up one. I didn't fact check the second one I put in. I'm sure if it's real.
I need your top 100. I need you to put your top 100.
Okay.
And then I'll come up with mine, and then I'll cross-reference them, and we'll get 100 perfect ones.
Okay, I will do that. I'll make the commitment.
Commitment.
I forgot. You're like pushing these things out. It's amazing. Okay, I'll do my.
Someone's got to hold you accountable. That's the reality.
I was actually thinking today, like, I need to get back and looking at the book. Like, I have so many ideas. And actually, I've been sitting on a great short, like that. I just haven't had. I want it. Like, I have a certain setting in my mind, so I'm not going against any of our beliefs on this channel. I'm not doing any of that. Trying to make it perfect. And what happens when you want things to be perfect? It doesn't get done.
It doesn't get done.
Actually, I'm going to say it here because I thought
perfection is the enemy of progress.
Mm-hmm. I'm still going to make a short. I'll make a short tomorrow.
Okay, nice.
But I was listening. It was one of the YouTube podcasts that I was listening to, and they said life is meaningless. All of life is meaningless. The only meaning that life has is the meaning that you choose to put on everything that's going on around you. So if here's a great example, because we've talked about this. If somebody cuts you off in traffic, you can either get really upset, get mad, that person's an a-hole, whatever you want to do, or you can say, oh, well, maybe they didn't see me, maybe they're out of blinker fluid, like they could be having a tough day,
right? They
needed to be first. So it's just which I thought was amazing, because it's so true. Like all these things that are going on around us, and there may be deeper issues that you don't necessarily know about, because we like to think that we can take care of most things with our mind, with ourselves, with our close friends, but sometimes outside help is needed, and I've done that. And one of my great relationship, what's the word I'm looking for? Just like a way that I acted in relationships, I didn't realize was a problem until it was pointed out to me by an outside person, and then I was like, oh, this makes a lot of sense. So that's something that I didn't realize was an issue, but it was. So just like, there could be deeper things that
I don't believe you had a flaw in your relationships.
No, I can't remember if I talked about
I
this. It would have been so
disagree.
long ago. So here's what it was.
Okay.
Most things I don't really care about.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it doesn't matter, like, if we eat at McDonald's or Wendy's or whatever. Like, I
Sure.
don't really care.
Right.
If I really care about something, then I'm going to speak up and fight for it because I really care about it. So I'm really going to fight for it.
For sure.
And what the therapist said to me was that it looks like to the other person that I always have to have my way because I never make any comments about anything else.
Right.
And then when I do, I have to have my way.
Right.
So now I just have to, even when I don't care, I just have to say, well, and then not get my way. I don't really care.
But I get that. I mean, I've been yelled at before. Like, people will be like, well, you always have to be right. And I'm like, no, I'm wrong all the time. And they're like, you're never wrong. Every time we fight, you end up being the person who is right. And I'm like, right, because I won't fight unless I'm right. So when I'm wrong, I just say, oops, sorry, I'm wrong.
Yeah. And those are the things that aren't connecting with the
Yes.
other, maybe the other person might be missing that.
I actually had somebody recently, they were telling me that they were telling somebody else that. They were like, hey, if Ball comes at you and is like, hey, this has to happen, he's already decided that he's won. So don't fight with him. He already knows. He's already figured it all out. They're like, if he's like, you probably should act like this, that means he's not sure and he's just trying to kind of move you along the correct path. But if he comes at you and is like, let's go, it's already done. If you fight him, you're going to lose. He's already figured it all out and planned it all through. And I was like, I'm like, okay then. And he's like, and so I told him, you don't really care about this one. And I'm like, I don't. I go, but they should do it that way. And he's like, and they will. And I'm like, yep. But I go, you're damn right. If I'm fighting, I'm going to win. So
yeah. So that was something for me. That was it was deep down. I didn't realize it was there.
And I still think it's okay, but I understand how it causes confusion. I would not say it's a flaw.
I didn't say it was a flaw. It's just something that I worked on, and so my partner is I like to think much happier because there's not even a twinge in her mind. Not that we have things like that, but there's
because you purposely fight when you're wrong.
not fight, but just put up a, I was going to say put up a fight, but it's not that. Just have something to say about it.
Well, it's interesting because one of my thoughts that I thought about talking about, and we don't got time to go down this rabbit hole, but my wife and I were in a huge disagreement this week, and I was laughing to myself that I believe that with all relationships, 90% of the battles, maybe more, are all communication-related battles. That none of them are like that's the person you care about. Theoretically, you're not just being an a-hole to be an a-hole.
Yeah.
Right. Like
yeah, exactly.
It's got to be some kind of communication error or something's going wrong, right? And figuring that out is like the trick. And in mine, and she'll probably listen to this and then she'll be like, "You're such a stupid son of a gun." But like for mine, like what stopped the fighting was I was like, you are acting this way because of this, and this, right? And then I'm like, oh, she's acting this way because of this, and this. Why am I holding that against her when I know the reasons why it's happening? Like, I know what's going on. Why am I taking it as personally as I'm taking it when I know there are reasons that it's happening? Which doesn't make it any easier, right? Like, it doesn't make it better or easier. But when you understand, like, and that's kind of where I was at. I was like, okay, you clearly understand why it's happening. You're just mad it's happening anyway, and you're just taking out your anger because of that. But in reality, you get it, right? You get it. And so then, like, it just evaporated away, right? Like, I'm like, I can't be mad
That's awesome.
when I know the reasoning.
Yeah.
Right? Like, again,
That's awesome.
people aren't being an a-hole to be an a-hole.
Mm-hmm.
You hope. I mean, I probably am, but most other people are probably
Yeah.
not.
Most people are not.
Most people are not. Always assume, I tell people this all the time, always assume good intentions.
We talked about that last week. Same idea.
So always assume.
Exactly.
Unless you're dealing with me, because it may not be good intentions. Way of the world. Way of the world. So, yeah. So, anyway, that's a lot of good stuff. I'm still, like,
That's
fixated on boobs all the time, except for the one on your collar that looks more like a penis. I'm not fixated on that one, but...
No.
No, but the other ones, like, you know, I think the blue are like the classic cartoon drawings. I think the ones right next to that totally look like the legs or the toes, especially from like Ren and Stimpy. Like, I'm sure, right? These look like classic, right?
All of them.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, that one looks familiar. I know that set.
Uh-oh.
Oh no. Someone made a real one there. Someone slipped in some real.
Oh yeah, that
reels.
one's not on any other ones.
No.
Oh, yeah.
They slipped in a real one and then just tried to hope you didn't notice it wasn't part of the pattern. Did you draw those? Did you draw those yourself? You're like,
I did not, but yes, I yep.
That's awesome. Well, you know, maybe next time maybe Kilted Balls will have a clothing line as well as a journal line. Get it on Amazon. Just search for a biblical journal. It should be up there. Right? It's very nice. Very nice.
Super awesome.
Super cool. Super cool. All right, listeners, I think we're about good. I enjoyed talking to you. I love talking to you all the time, Kilted. Hope you all have a great week. And this is Ballbuster signing off.
Kilted Dragon Jer, love you all.